Hi, I'm Jonathan Goldman, and it is a delight to be here talking to you. This first Israeli Convention of Sound Healing. What a blessing. Sound is such a profoundly powerful tool. And I've literally been working with it consciously for about 40 or even 50 years. And I want to tell you that it's a wonderful, wonderful vehicle for self-healing, transformation, and planetary healing. And I'm going to share with you some little important things that I think are very, very important as you begin to work with sound. So I want to say, first of all, shalom to everyone. What a blessing to be here. Thank you. Sound. The 4 pillars of sound healing are 4 basic fundamental principles that I have discovered over the years and are very, very important to share with anybody who is either thinking of working with sound or already working with sound and they may not know about this. Some of them took me quite a while and they seem very, very simple. And I'm going to share them with you and go into them in a little more depth. The first is that everything is vibration. Number 1, everything is vibration. The second is that intent is powerful. The third is that we are all unique vibratory beings. And the fourth is silence is golden. So those 4 pillars really, really are so important to understand and embrace, because understanding and embracing them will only amplify your usage of using sound for healing. So the first one, everything is vibration. If we look at this basic spiritual text of all the different traditions, we find their understanding. In the beginning was the Word, and the Lord said, let there be light. In the Hindu tradition, they talk about not a Brahman. In the ancient Egyptian tradition, the god Thoth would think of an object, speak its name, and bring it into being. In the Hopi tradition, Spider Woman sings the song of creation, brings life to the inanimate objects. I could go on and on. There, almost every tradition. I recently did a presentation, a sound satsang with my wife, Andy, and we stopped at 50 different traditions that had very, very similar, quote, myths. But really we know that our modern quantum physicists are also in agreement. Everything is in vibration. From the electrons spinning around the nucleus of an atom to planets and distant galaxies moving around their sun, they're all in a state of vibration. And if they're creating a vibration, they're conceptually creating a sound. Now, the basic idea of using sound as a healing modality is this. We are like this extraordinary orchestra that is playing the symphony of the self with every organ, every bone, every tissue, every part of our body vibrating in a particular wavelength that creates sound health. But if one of the string players, the violin player, loses their sheet music, they begin to play out of harmony, they begin to play out of tune. Pretty soon, the entire string section is off. Pretty soon, the entire orchestra is off. And when this happens, we say that they're vibrating out of ease, out of harmony. The part of the body that this is akin to is vibrating out of ease. It is diseased. So the basic idea of using sound as a healing modality is simply to give this string player back their sheet music, or somehow restore the correct harmonic resonance, the correct balance to the part of the body, brain, etheric field, the energy field that is vibrating out of ease, out of harmony, putting it back. And that is so very, very important. So everything is vibration, and within that I want you to be aware that there are 2 basic ways that sound affects us. One is through our ears. That's called psychoacoustics. The sound goes into our ear, into our brain, affecting our nervous system, our heart rate, our respiration, our brain waves. The other is called vibroacoustics, and that's where the sound goes into the body, affecting us on a cellular level, going down, even affecting us on a DNA level. So there's two different ways, going into our ear or into our body. Psychoacoustics and vibroacoustics. Just be aware of them, because a lot of times we don't even think, for example, about the sound going into our body, but it's very, very powerful. The second pillar of sound healing is that intention is powerful. Intention is powerful. And this initially stemmed from when I was doing a research paper 40 years ago and trying to find different systems that worked and correlated together. And the bottom line is that from all these different systems and all these different doctors and spiritual masters, I thought I was going to be able to line them all up and make this one correlation of a specific way that sound affects us. But it turned out that it wasn't, and I was really in a pretty deep state of anxiety because I was sure there had to be a one-to-one relationship, and an inner voice said to me, it is not only the frequency of the sound that creates its effect, it is also the intention of the person making and receiving the sound. And I wrote down the words, frequency plus intent equals healing. Frequency plus intent equals healing. That means that the sound that we create is coupled with the energy or the consciousness that we make when we're creating this sound. And when I first came up with this and shared this with a lot of people, at the time it was very, very strange and they didn't understand it. But blessed be, there are now so many different people who have worked with intention. Wayne Dyer has done a whole TV series on the power of intention. Dr. Bruce Lipton has done the biology of belief. Joe Dispenza has done his You Are the Placebo. Lynn McTaggart has done the intention experiments. Masaru Emoto has done work showing how water literally is shifted and changed with both frequency and intention. And so that's just very, very, it's being validated so much these days, the idea that intention is really important. And the one thing I would like to share with you about that is that you can begin to work with this idea, this consciousness now, because you can work with taking the spoken word, and when you speak words of kindness and compassion, and you can do healing just by speaking to somebody and being kind and compassionate. Really, you can begin today using your voice as a healing instrument. It's really, really powerful. The next pillar of sound healing is we are all unique vibratory beings. By this, I ask oftentimes audiences, how many of you are allergic to penicillin? And anywhere from 5 to 20% of an audience will raise their hand. I say, okay, if penicillin is a frequency or a series of frequencies, then for 80% of you, it's going to be healing, but for 20%, it's going to be toxic. And I use this as a metaphor for practically everything I've encountered, whether it's a pharmaceutical, food, or a sound. In fact, I think that you will find that if you are able to project 80% of a healing frequency or a healing food to somebody, that's great. Not everybody is going to be resonating to the same frequency. We're all unique vibratory beings. And on one level, that's great for us to understand because that really empowers us to begin to embrace the incredible world of sound healing. There's so many different sounds. And to think that, oh, this is the only frequency, whatever that was, this is the only frequency that you can use for healing. No, there's so many different frequencies. So don't limit yourself to the frequencies. One of the things that happens in sound healing is that people get very stuck on certain frequencies being the healing frequency. And I'd like to suggest that we don't want to limit ourselves to the frequencies that we work with, because depending upon the person, it may be a healing frequency or it may not resonate well. And if it doesn't resonate well, there are too many wonderful frequencies on our planet to choose from. So this, empower yourself. If it works for you, blessed be, give thanks. And if it doesn't, honor that as well. Finally, the last one is that silence is golden. And it took me a long time to really understand this one, because a lot of times when you first begin working with sound, you become so enamored with the power of sound. It feels so good that, oh my goodness gracious, I'm just going to do this all day. And that's very nice, but silence is the yin to the yang of sound. It's an equal part of sound, and it's something we really need to honor. It is really in the silence that the true shifts and changes occur. This is so very, very important. If you like, working with silence, and the silent sound, if you like, is a really highly advanced yogic form called Shabd Yoga. But I like, whenever I'm doing a sound, whether it's an or whatnot, to, after I've done this or led an audience in this sound, can be a hum, it can be a mantra, it can be anything, crystal balls or whatnot. Be in silence and let your body, brain, etheric fields assimilate and resonate with the frequency that you've been working with before you move on to another. So I hope that makes sense. So the 4 pillars again: everything is vibration, intent is powerful, we are all unique vibratory beings, and silence is golden. If you can apply those principles to working with sound in your personal practice and your everyday practice, it'll really enhance your evolutionary development. The other thing I want to talk to you about, because we have a group like this, is in a group there's an incredible synergistic phenomena that occurs when you work with sound. And 1 + 1 = 3. Literally, we can create so much more. And one of the things I'm really, really interested in is not only using sound for personal healing, but for planetary healing. And this is something you can do. With our light, our love, and our sound, we can literally shift and change the, if you like, field of our planet. In fact, I'm going to invite you to do this as often as you can today, and we do a special event on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, and there are oftentimes hundreds of events where people project different sounds throughout the planet during the day, and in particular, we're doing one particular event that's happening from 9:30 Mountain Time, which is 11:30 New York time, to 12:30, and right at the top of the hour, 12 o'clock New York time, which I'm not sure what time that is going to be like for you folks, probably around 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I'm not sure. We timed it so that people over in Europe and Israel could resonate together, and we're going to create the world's largest intentionalized sound phenomena, where we're literally going to be sounding an filled with light and love, and working with the energy of heart-brain coherence. And this is all going to be done through the program, and we're going to invite you to the Healing Sounds website that produces this, which is worldsoundhealingday.org, worldsoundhealingday.org. So I hope you check in, because we can create a community throughout the planet that literally works to change the vibrational essence of the planetary field. This is so very, very important. This event is going to be tracked by the Global Consciousness Project. And with more time, I would tell you about that, but you can check it out on World Sound Healing Day. We have a lot of information on that. And we just want to send you so many blessings of light and love through sound. With our light, our love, and our sound, we can make a difference. Remember, we heal the planet. We heal ourselves. We heal ourselves, and we heal the planet. This is Jonathan Goldman saying, thank you.